Hey guys, it's Michael. In today's video, I'm going to go over the 4 most important things to keep an eye out for this week if you're an investor or you're interested in making more money in general. Every single day this summer has been full of news, causing the stock market to be significantly more volatile than normal, but this week may be the biggest week of all, with important news coming from all parts of the economy. Coming from the government and important stimulus package announcements, with companies announcing earnings, Federal Reserve meeting on Wednesday, and even the second quarter gross domestic product report. So in today's video, we're going to go over all of that and more. But before we get started, if you find this video helpful or informative in any way, it would really mean a lot if you could like the video down below. It really helps out my videos a lot, and I really appreciate it. Anyways, let's get right into it. So every single day this summer has been full of news, causing the stock market to be significantly more volatile than normal, but this week may be the biggest week of all, with important news coming from a number of different areas. It's a critical week for the markets, as some of the biggest tech companies, including Apple, Amazon, Facebook, they report earnings which traders say need to justify the high valuations that they currently have. The second thing is Senate Republicans will unveil their stimulus proposals, which could help determine the success of the economic recovery in the next couple of months. The Federal Reserve meets in the week ahead and is expected to emphasize in a meeting on Wednesday that they will continue to do all they can to help the economy recover and maybe announce more measures they can take. And finally, the first reading of the second quarter gross domestic product will be released on Thursday, and it will show how hard the economy crashed and was hit after it was shut down to fight the virus. So all of these things are extremely important this week, because if anything beats expectations, or if we miss expectations, then it could cause stock prices to drop or rise significantly. As an investor, though, the 2 most important things to be looking at this week are the second stimulus package and tech company earnings, because depending on if they meet expectations or fall short will greatly influence stock prices. With regards to the second stimulus package, what the package looks like will be a huge deal, particularly on unemployment benefits side. This is according to analysts, because if unemployment benefits are not continued or it's not enough, well then that can significantly impact consumer spending, which will affect all of the companies in the stock market. If people don't have money to spend, well then these companies can't generate as much revenue. And with over 20 million people unemployed, and now that the enhanced unemployment benefits have expired, there are over 20 million Americans who have no source of income. So if the announcement this week doesn't include a drastic measure for unemployment benefits, well then that can significantly affect companies' earnings moving forward. So just keep an eye out for that. And the second reason is that if for some reason the Republicans don't announce the second stimulus package, or they delay it even further, that can also have negative effects on prices as well. Earnings for the S&P 500 companies are expected to decline by 40.3% for the second quarter, based on the results of companies that have already reported and estimates according to Refinitiv. Technology companies are expected to have the smallest profit declines, with just a decline of 4.4% on average. Dozens of major companies report their earnings this week. This is a huge week. Tech companies including Facebook will announce on Wednesday. Alphabet and Amazon will announce on Thursday. Pharmaceutical companies such as Merck and Pfizer and Eli Lilly are expected to report as well, in addition to companies like Starbucks, McDonald's, and Procter & Gamble. So those companies and more will be announcing their earnings this week. So it'll be important to see what happens here, to see how they are doing with the economic recovery, if people are continuing to spend money, and if they beat expectations or miss them. So far this year, Keon, who is the chief investment strategist at QMA, said that the earnings numbers overall, they've been pretty good so far. He said it's just the basic problem with the stock market right now is that valuations are still very, very high, and that all of these earnings reports need to justify these high earnings. The stock market is at a record high, and valuations are also at a record high, with tens of millions of Americans unemployed, and no exact timeline on when a vaccine will be developed. So it seems a little unusual, and it's just something you need to keep an eye out for, that stocks are at all-time high valuations, even though the economy hasn't fully recovered, and there's tens of millions of people without jobs and without sources of income. So if you just think about it logically, if there's over 20 million people who don't have jobs and can't spend money, and the economy isn't recovering because there is no vaccine developed yet and there's no specific timeline, well then you just have to be careful when investing in companies right now. And that is why this week is so important, because if more stimulus is passed and companies continue to beat earnings, well then we'll continue to see stock prices rise. But if for some reason one of these things go wrong or it doesn't meet our expectations, then stock prices can drop significantly again. So anyways, I just wanted to point out these 4 things to keep an eye out for this week. If you're an investor, you have money invested in the stock market, or you want to make money, because they can drastically affect prices in the market. So just keep an eye out for earnings reports this week, Senate Republicans and what they announced with their second stimulus package, the Federal Reserve meeting, and finally the gross domestic product report as well for the second quarter. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you found it helpful in any way or informative, please be sure to like the video down below and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out a lot. Don't forget to get your 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400 when you download the Webull investing app using the link down below, and get $5 immediately when you download the Acorns investment app as well. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video down below, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.